All right. Oh, sweat stains on the hat. Gross. All right, it's 100 degrees, but the humidity is not terrible. We are going to take the truck, no trailer today. We're loading a third of a cord or a rick for everybody that's not in Louisiana. Here, people call it a half cord. It's the same 4 foot by 8 foot row that everybody knows. Going to the wood yard, gonna load up the truck bed. About to do it. All right. Back on up over here. I'm gonna show y'all my amazingly bumpy road. That should do it. And there we go. Not a long drive to the wood yard. Just was a little dirt road. I eventually need to cut down some trees, but this is where we kind of start the wood process. Hopefully you don't get motion sickness. Yeah, we're a little bumpy. Okay, so we're going over here because this is the most dry oak, then the next most, and then we've got some real old buried behind the splitter. We're going for that basket right there. All right, so we're out here. That took a little while because I had to zigzag around some scrap. Can't burn anything. We're on a burn ban right now. It's been pretty dry. I think we had 1 day of rain in the last 45, but temperature's at 105 plus heat index, so it's been pretty dry. This basket took this morning to the restaurant, so they need a full cord. They have probably 2/3 of a cord right now after that one. They want a full cord, but they are, again, we'll do a whole video on the fact that Louisiana measures wood completely different than everybody else. They want 3 racks at all times full, which is a cord, but they call it something else. But anyway, so this is my most season. This is my uglies pile. That's going to a local camp, Boy Scout troop. Offered every year to Boy Scouts, pastors, whoever needs to do a little campfire wood. We give that away. But then we get into the premium stuff. So we've got some oak, mostly white oak, post oak, red oak, water oak, or as my neighbor likes to call it, pin oak. We disagree on that, but he's from Louisiana. I'm from the Midwest. So this is what's going today to our customer. Some pretty good dry oak. Neighbor's horse is coming over to supervise, make sure I know what I'm doing over here, but they're actually checking out this little bit. It's a little overgrown, but they like the good stuff that they get fed, so they're a little picky, but they're coming to supervise. Let's get set up here. Hey, it's Buzz. So, we'll get after this eventually, but I've been asked why I do firewood as a hobby slash little business. So let's go ahead and get after it after we get down this gravel road. Not optimum for filming, but it's where I choose to live. Optimum for me, my family, and our way of life. So that'll get right into this conversation a little bit. So I do firewood as a hobby and side business because it's easy to tell people that firewood is not easy, but it is simple. You simply cut, you split, you stack, you repeat. I do it for my mental health and solving the world's problems, as my head is kind of caught up from work all day long, complicated problems trying to get solved, inner office politics, all the personality things. I'm a bit of an introvert, so talking all day wears me out and I need to recharge my batteries. So I have found that firewood, it's a lot like a lot of people will say about mowing their yard, when they can just go and relax, kind of do something that's not amazingly complicated. They can just dedicate some time and some thought to completing a task. So I call it firewood therapy for a reason. I solve all the world's problems. I do my praying, I do my thinking. I veg out, kind of relax, get a little exercise, get a little workout in. So that's why I do firewood therapy. That's why I split firewood. And I used to tell my wife that I would only split firewood on days that were stressful at work. And I think I ended up with 15 cords of firewood. So she told me I had a problem. And she's right, I go to therapy to help with that. But when I'm home, it's a chance to get right in my own head, get right with my belief system. And yeah, so wanted to get that out of the way. Why do I do therapy? It's a little bit of meditation, a little bit of exercise, makes a little side money, which is always good. And I found it to be completely relaxing and entertaining, as boring as it can be sitting out, splitting, and maybe with a podcast on, or most of the time just some music and just listening to nature. So that's why I do therapy. That's why I do this therapy that I call a firewood business. So I am now off to deliver some of the output of all that good work.